Good morning. It's Thursday morning, about 8:30. Wanted to give everybody another update here. I know I did one here first of the week. This has to go through our compliance department, so they've been a little slower lately. Hopefully we can get this one out to you tomorrow versus the first of the week. Just want to give an update. I have some more facts here that are coming in that I think are interesting. The COVID-19, as of Tuesday, the U.S. growth rate of those new cases is at 1.3%, which is continuing a downward trend, though Florida and Texas, they are maintaining. They're not increasing in the virus, but they're not decreasing either. It's interesting. Germany saw an uptick in the COVID-19 cases. China is seeing a mutation of the disease or the virus, and that's going to hamper finding remedies and vaccines going forward here. So kind of interesting news. Businesses beginning to open up, and daily new cases are mostly remaining stable overall, is what this is telling us. Germany and France agreed on a 500 billion stimulus package. And Brazil, interestingly enough, is the second fastest growing hotspot for this virus after the United States. So things aren't so good over there. And this is all according to Johns Hopkins data. In the markets, the tech sector continues to be a little overheated here. A little surprised at the beginning of this week, but I still think the market overall, when you look at historical data, when we come out of a bottom like we did, as quickly as we did, we get heavier corrections as we move forward. So 10% correction is not unheard of out of this. And I think with the summer months coming and the election coming and still the uncertainty of this virus, I think we can be pretty safely assured we're going to have a lot of uncertainty. And I think it's going to play into choppy markets going forward. The Federal Reserve, the yields, the Treasury yields, they're another concern. They are still at, the 10-year yield is still at, it's sitting at lower than what it was when equities bottomed back on March 23rd. That tells us there's still a lot of concern, a lot of scared money on the sidelines. It also tells us the market is probably overheated here a little bit. Any meaningful economic recovery will have those Treasury yields start to move up. We are expecting that the second half of this year. So again, I think volatility is the name of the game as we go forward. I've talked to a lot of you already about that. Negative rates. The Federal Reserve has talked about negative interest rates. Chairman Powell has said this last week that they are not excited about doing that. They know from other central banks doing it has not been successful, but they are leaving the door open to that. But at this point, they feel that they have other tools they can use. But keep your ear to the ground on that. I don't like negative rates. At this point, when we look at Europe, to me, they clearly don't work. It makes no sense to me. It's not going to stimulate growth. And I think that's Europe's problem at the moment. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I think markets are going to be choppy. I've told a lot of you that. I think as we go into the summer, there's just so many unknowns. And again, now the election cycle is going to heat up. And that's just going to be cause a lot more uncertainty as well. So stay tuned here. We'll keep bringing you data as we get it. I think, as I've told a lot of you, we're probably going to stay. I don't see us getting positive this year, or at least through the summer. Hopefully in the last half of the year we see more of a run. I could be dead wrong. Maybe this thing just slides back to us. But I think until we find an actual cure to this thing and a vaccine, it's just going to create. People aren't just going to be hungry to come flying back at things like they were prior to this event. Talking to a lot of you, please remember, don't get caught up in this. The markets are off so much off of this low. It's been a tech sector, the FANG stocks have once again, unless you have all your money in 4 stocks, you're not enjoying this ride. And remember what your risk levels are. Very important to remember now more than any time. So if you're a moderate conservative, you're not going to be flying around with these markets. And we've seen that year to date. We didn't go up last year with those markets, but we certainly haven't gone down with them either. And when you look longer term, at this point in time, these moderate and moderate conservatives are actually doing better longer term than the aggressive guys. That probably won't last. Historically, we know that. But just remember what your risk level is, because we will have more corrections. We will have more events like this. So we'll be talking about it as we move further along the year. Have a great rest of the day here. The sunshine's coming, so have a great weekend. Great Memorial Day.